Exodus 30, the altar for burning incense. The Lord said to Moses, build an altar of acacia wood, where you can burn incense. Make it 45 centimeters square and 90 centimeters high, and make each of its four corners stick up like a horn of a bull. Cover it with pure gold and put a gold etching around it. Then below the etching on opposite sides, attach two gold rings through which you can put the poles for carrying the altar. These poles are also to be made of acacia wood covered with gold. Put the altar in front of the inside curtain of the sacred tent. The chest with the place of mercy is kept behind that curtain, and I will talk with you there from now on when Aaron takes care of the rams. Each morning and evening he must burn sweet smelling incense to me on the altar. Burn only the proper incense on the altar and never use it for grain sacrifices or animal sacrifices or drink offerings. Once a year, Aaron must purify the altar by smearing on its four corners the blood of the animal sacrificed for sin, and this practice must always be followed. The altar is sacred because it is dedicated to me. The money for the sacred tent. The Lord said to Moses, find out how many grown men there are in Israel and require each of them to pay me to keep him safe for danger while you are counting them. Each man over 19, whether rich or poor, must pay me the same amount of money, weighed according to the official standards. This money is to be used for the upkeep of the sacred tent. And because of it, I will never forget my people. The large bronze bowl. The Lord said to Moses, make a large bronze bowl and a bronze stand for it. Then put them between the altar for sacrifice and the sacred tent, so the priest can wash their hands and feet before entering the tent or offering a sacrifice on the altar. Each priest in evening generation must wash himself in this way, or else he'll die right there. The oil for dedication and ordination. The Lord said to Moses, mix 4 liters of olive oil with the following costly spices: 6 kilometers of myrrh, 3 kilometers of cinnamon, 3 kilometers of cane, and 6 kilometers of cassia. Measure this according to the official standard. Use this sacred mixer for dedicating the tent and chest, the table with its equipment, the lampstands with its equipment, the incense altar with all its utensils, the altar for sacrifices, the large bowl with its stand. By dedicating them in this way, you will make them so holy that anyone who even touches them will become holy. When you ordain Aaron and his son as my priest, sprinkle them with some of this oil, and say to the people of Israel, this oil must always be used in the ordination service of a priest. It is holy because it is dedicated to the Lord. So treat it as holy. Don't ever use it for everyday purposes or mix any of yourselves. If you do, you no longer belong to the Lord's people. The sweet-smelling incense mix equal amount of the costly spices stacked onycha, galbanum, and pure frankincense. Then add salt to make the mixture pure and holy. Pound some of it into powder and sprinkle it in front of sacred chest, where I met with you. Be sure to treat this incense as something very holy. It is truly holy because it is dedicated to me. So don't ever make any for yourselves. If you ever make any of it to use as perfume, you will no longer belong to my people. Exodus 31. The Lord chooses Bezalel and Oholiab. The Lord said to Moses, I have chosen Bezalel from the Judah tribe to make the sacred tent and its furnishings. Not only I filled him with my spirit, but I have given him wisdom and made him a skilled craftsman who can create objects of art with gold, silver, bronze, precious stones, and wood. I have appointed Oholiab from the tribe of Dan to work with him. I have also given skill to those who will help them make everything actually as I have commanded you. The sacred tent with its furnishings, the sacred chest with its place of mercy, the table with all that is on it, the lamp with its equipment, the incense altar for sacrifices with its equipment, the bronze bowl with its stand, the beautiful priestly clothes for Aaron and his sons, the oil for dedication and ordination services, and the sweet-smelling incense for the holy place. Laws for the Sabbath. Moses told the Israelites that the Lord had said, the Sabbath belongs to me. Now I command you and your descendants to always obey the law of the Sabbath. By doing this, you know that I have chosen you as my own. Keep the Sabbath holy. You have 6 days to do your work, but the Sabbath is mine, and it must remain a day of rest. If you work on Sabbath, you will no longer be part of my people, and you will be put to death. Every generation of Israelites must respect the Sabbath. This day will always serve as a reminder, both to me and to the Israelites, that I made the heavens and the earth in 6 days, that on the seventh day I rested and relaxed. When God had finished speaking to Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 flat stones on which he had written all his laws with his own hand. Exodus 32. The people make an idol to worship. After the people saw that Moses had been on Mount for a long time, They went to Aaron and said, "Make us an image of God who will lead and protect us. Moses brought us out of Egypt, but nobody knows what has happened to him." Aaron told them, "Bring me the gold earrings that your wives and sons and daughters are wearing." Everybody took off their earrings and brought them to Aaron. Then he melted them and made an idol in the shape of a young bull. Oh, the people said to one another, "This is the God who brought us out of Egypt." When Aaron saw that what was happening, he built an altar in front of idol and said, "Tomorrow we will celebrate in honor of the Lord." The people got up early the next morning and killed some animals to be used for sacrifice and others to be eaten. Then everyone ate and drank so much that they began to carry on like wild people. The Lord said to Moses, "Hurry back down. Those people you led out of Egypt are acting like fools. They have already stopped obeying me and made themselves an idol in the shape of a young bull. They have bowed down to it, offered sacrifices, and said that it is God who brought them out of Egypt. Moses, I have seen how stubborn these people are, and I'm angry enough to destroy them. So don't try to stop me, but I will make your descendants into a great nation." Moses tried to get the Lord God to change his mind. "Oh Lord, you used your mighty power to bring these people out of Egypt. Now, don't become angry and destroy them. If you do, the Egyptians will say that you brought your people out here into the mountains just to get rid of them. Please don't be angry with your people. Don't destroy them. Remember the solemn promise you made on Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You promised that someday they would have as many descendants as there are stars in the sky, and then you'd give them land." So even though the Lord had threatened to destroy the people, he changed his mind and let them live. Moses went back down the mountain with the two flat stones on which God had written all of his laws with his own hand, using both sides of the stones. When Joshua heard the noises, shouts of the people, he said to Moses, "A battle must be going on down in the camp." The Moses replied, "It doesn't sound like they are shouting because they have won or lost the battle. It sounds more like a wild party." As Moses got closer to the camp, he saw the idol, and he also saw the people dancing around. This made him so angry that he drew down the stones and broke them to pieces at the front of the mountain. He melted the idol the people had made, and he ground it into powder. He scattered it in their water and made them drink it. Moses asked Aaron, "What did these people do to harm you? Why did you make them sin?" Why did you? Why these people? Why did you make them sin in this terrible way? Aaron answered, Don't be angry with me. You know as well as I do that they are determined to do evil. They even told me, the man Moses led us out of Egypt, but now we don't know what has happened to him. Make us a God to lead us. Then I asked them to bring me their gold earrings. They took them off and gave them to me. I threw the gold into fire, and out came this bull. Moses knew that the people were out of control and that it was Aaron's fault. And now they had made a fool of themselves in front of their enemies. So Moses stood at the gate of the camp and shouted, Everyone who is on the roadside, come over here. Then the men of the Levi tribe gathered around Moses. And he said to them, The Lord God of Israel commands you to strap on your sword and go through the camp, killing your relative, your friends, and your neighbors. The men of Levi tribe followed his orders, and that day killed about 3,000 men. Moses said to them, You obeyed the Lord and did what was right, and so you will serve as his priest for the people of Israel. It was hard for you to kill your own sons and brothers, but the Lord has blessed you and made you his priest today. The next day Moses told the people, This is a terrible thing you have done, but I will go back to the Lord to see if I can do something to keep this sin from being held against you. Moses returned to the Lord and said, The people had committed a terrible sin. They have made the gold idol to be their God. But I beg you to forgive them. If you don't, please wipe my name out of your book. The Lord replied, I will wipe out of my book the name of everyone who has sinned against me. Now take my people to the place I told you about, and my angel will lead you. But when the time comes, I'll punish them for this sin. So Lord punished the people of Israel with the terrible diseases for talking Aaron into making the gold idol. Exodus 33. The Lord tells Israel to leave Mount Sinai. The Lord said to Moses, You led the people of Israel out of Egypt. Now get ready to lead them to the land I promised their ancestor Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It is a land rich with milk and honey, and I will send the angel to force out those people who live there, the Canaanites and Amorites and Hittites and Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. But I will not go with my people. They are so rebellious that I would destroy them before they get there. Even before the Lord said these harsh things, he had told Moses, These people really are rebellious, and I would kill them at once if I went with them. But tell them to take off their fancy jewelry, then I will decide what to do with them. So the people started mourning, and after leaving Mount Sinai, they stopped wearing fancy jewelry. The Lord is with his people. Moses used to set up a tent from camp. He called it meeting tent. And whoever needed some message from the Lord would go there. Each time Moses went out to his tent, everyone would stand at the entrance to their own tents and watch him enter. Then they would bow down because a thick cloud would come down in front of the tent, and the Lord would speak to Moses face to face, just like a friend. Afterward, Moses would return to camp, but his young assistant Joshua would stay at the tent. The Lord promised to be with his people. Moses said to the Lord, I know that you have told me to lead these people to the land you promised them, but you have not said who will go along to help me. You have said that you're my friend and that you're pleased with me. If this is true, let me know what your plans are. Then I can obey and continue to please you. But don't forget that you have chosen this nation to be your own. The Lord said, I will go with you and give you peace. Then Moses replied, if you aren't going with us, please don't make us leave this place. But if you do go with us, everyone will know that you are pleased with your people and with me. That way, we will be different from the rest of the people on earth. So the Lord told him, I will do what you have asked, because I am your friend and I am pleased with you. Then Moses said, I pray that you will let me see you in all of your glory. The Lord answered, all right, I am the Lord, and I show mercy and kindness to anyone I choose. I will let you see my glory and hear my holy name. But I won't let you see my face, because anyone who sees my face will die. There is a rock not far from me. Stand beside it, and before I pass by in all my shining glory, I will put you in a large crack in the rock. I will cover your eyes with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take my hands away, and you will see my back. You will not see my face. Exodus 34. The second set of commandment. One day the Lord said to Moses, cut 2 flat stones like the first one I made, and I will write on them the same commandment that were on the 2 you broke. Be ready tomorrow morning to come up Mount Sinai and meet me at the top. No one is to come with you or to be on the mountain at all. Don't even let the sheep or cattle graze at the foot of the mountain. So Moses cut 2 flat stones like the first ones, and early the next morning he carried them to the top of the Mount Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded. The Lord God came down in the cloud and stood beside Moses there on the mountain. God spoke his holy name. The Lord Then he passed in front of Moses and called out, I am the Lord God. I am merciful and very patient with my people. I show great love and I can be trusted. I keep my promise to my people forever, but I also punish anyone who sins. When people sin, I punish them and their children and also their grandchildren and great grandchildren. Moses quickly bowed down to the ground and worshiped the Lord. He prayed, Lord, if you really are pleased with me, I pray that you will go with us. It is true that these people are sinful and rebellious, but forgive our sin and let us be your people. A promise and its demands, the Lord said. I promise to perform miracles for you that have never been seen anywhere on earth. Neighboring nations will stand in fear and know that I was one who did these marvelous things. I forced out the Amorites and Canaanites and Hittites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. But you must do what I command you today. Don't make treaties with any of those people. If you do, it will be like falling into a trap. Instead, you must destroy your altars and tear down the sacred poles they use in the worship of the goddess Asherah. I demand your complete loyalty. You must not worship any other god. Don't make treaties with the people there, or you will soon find yourselves worshipping their gods and taking part in their sacrificial meals. Your men will even marry their women and be influenced to worship their gods. Don't make mirror images of gods. Don't fail to observe the festival of thin bread in the mount of Abib. Obey me and eat bread without yeast for 7 days during Abib, because that is months you left Egypt. The firstborn males of your females and of your flocks and herds belong to me. You can save the life of a firstborn donkey by sacrificing a lamb. If you don't, you must break the donkey's neck. You must save every firstborn son. Bring an offering every time you come to worship. Work for 6 days and rest on the 7th day, even during the seasons for plowing and harvesting. Celebrate the harvest festival each spring when you start harvesting your wheat, and celebrate the festival of shelters each autumn when you pick your fruit. Your men must come to worship me 3 times a year, because I am the Lord God of Israel. As you advance, I will force the nation out of your land and enlarge your borders. Then no one will try to take your property when you come to worship me these 3 times each year. When you sacrifice an animal on an altar, don't offer bread made with yeast, and don't save any part of the Passover meal for the next day. I am the Lord your God, and you must bring the first part of your harvest to the place of worship. Don't boil a young goat in its mother's milk. The Lord told Moses to put these laws in writing as part of his agreement with Israel. Moses stayed on the mountain with the Lord for 40 days and nights without eating or drinking, and he wrote down the 10 Commandments, the most important part of God's agreement with his people. Moses came down from Mount Sinai. Moses came down from Mount Sinai carrying the 10 Commandments. His face was shining brightly because the Lord had been speaking to him, but Moses didn't know at first that his face was shining. When Aaron and the others looked at Moses, they saw this, and they were afraid to go near him. Moses called out for Aaron and the leaders to come to him, and he spoke with them. Then the rest of the people of Israel gathered around Moses, and he gave them the law that the Lord had given him on Mount Sinai. The face of Moses kept shining, and after he had spoken with the people, he covered his face with a veil. Moses would always remove the veil when he went into the sacrifice tent to speak with the Lord. And when he came out, he would tell the people everything the Lord had told him to say. They could see that his face was still shining. So after he had spoken with them, he would put a veil back on and leave it on until the next time he went to speak with the Lord. Exodus 35, Laws for the Sabbath. Moses called together the people of Israel and told them that the Lord had said, "You have 6 days in which to do your work, but the seventh day you must be dedicated to me, your Lord, as a day of rest. Whoever works on the Sabbath will be put to death. Don't even build a cooking fire at home on the Sabbath, offering for the sacred tent." Moses told the people of Israel that the Lord had said, "I will welcome an offering from anyone who wants to give something. You may bring gold, silver, or bronze, blue, purple, or red, or fine linen, goat hair, tanned ram skin, or fine leather, acacia wood, olive oil for the lamp, sweet-smelling spices for the oil of dedication and for the incense, or onyx stones or other gems for the sacred vase and breastpiece. If you have any skills, you should use them to help make what I have commanded. The sacred tent with its covering and hooks, its framework and crossbars, and its post and stands. The sacred chest with its carrying poles, its place of mercy, and the curtain in front of it, the table with its carrying poles and all that goes on it, including the sacred bread, the lamp with its equipment and oil, the incense altar with its carrying poles and sweet-smelling incense, the ordination oil, the curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent, The altar for sacrifices with its bronze grating, its carrying post, and its equipment, the large bronze bowl with its stand, the curtains with the posts and stands that go around the courtyard, and the curtain at the entrance, the pegs and ropes for the tent and the courtyard, and the finely woven priest clothing for Aaron and his sons, gift for the Lord. Moses finished speaking and everyone laughed. Then those who wanted to bring gift to the Lord brought them to be used for the sacred tent, the worship services, and priestly clothes. Man and woman came willingly and gave all kinds of gold jewelry such as pins, earrings, rings, and necklaces. Everyone brought their blue, purple, and red wool, and their fine linen, and their clothes made of goat hair, as well as their ram skins dyed red, and their fine leather. Anyone who has silver or bronze or cassia would brought it as a gift to the Lord. The women who were good at weaving clothes brought the blue, purple, and red wool and fine linen they had made. And the woman who knew how to make clothes from goat hair were glad to do so. The leaders brought different kind of jewels to be sewn on the special clothes and breastpiece for the high priest. They also brought sweet-smelling spices to be mixed with the incense and olive oil that were for the lamb and for ordaining the priest. Moses had told the people what the Lord wanted them to do, and many of them decided to bring their gifts. Bezalel and Oholiab, Moses said to the people of Israel, "The Lord has chosen Bezalel of the Judah tribe. Not only has the Lord filled him with his spirit, but he has given him wisdom and made him a skilled craftsman who has created objects of art with gold, silver, bronze, precious stones, and wood. The Lord is urging him and Oholiab from the tribe of Dan to teach others, and he has given them all kinds of artistic skills, including the ability to design and embroider with blue, purple, and red wool, and to weave fine linen.